We're going to talk about something pretty jarring today. It's a story where the lines between duty to your country, your family, and national policy get incredibly blurry. This is about a decorated U.S. soldier who suddenly finds himself fighting his own government to save his wife.
And you know, what better way to start than with the words of the man at the very heart of all this, Sergeant First Class Jose Serrano. This one quote he gave to CBS News, it just sets the emotional stakes for everything we're about to unpack. Okay, so let's dive right into this and get a really clear picture of who's involved in this incredibly complex and honestly heartbreaking situation.
So on one side, you've got Sergeant Jose Serrano. This is a man who has given 27 years of his life to the U.S. Army. He served in Afghanistan, and he's been treated for both a traumatic brain injury and PTSD. Then, on the other side, there's his wife, Deisy Rivera Ortega. She's from El Salvador, and she was just recently detained by ICE. That's Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
So how did this all happen? I mean, what exactly led to Daisy being detained? Well, depending on who you ask, you get two completely different stories. Let's break down these conflicting accounts. If you look at the timeline, it seems pretty straightforward at first. Daisy comes to the U.S. in 2016. 3 years later, she gets a deportation order. In 2022, she marries Sergeant Serrano. And then bam, just this month, on April 14th, she goes to a standard immigration appointment, and that's when she's taken into custody. Okay, and this is where the two stories just completely diverge. Sergeant Serrano is adamant, saying his wife followed every single rule since day one. He says she had a work permit, she even had legal protection that was supposed to prevent her deportation. But then you have the Department of Homeland Security. Their position? She came into the country illegally, had a final deportation order from years ago, and they've labeled her a criminal illegal alien for the misdemeanor of illegal entry. Two totally different realities. And look, this isn't just the family saying things are unfair. Their own attorney, Matthew Kozik, who, by the way, is a combat veteran himself, a Bronze Star recipient, he boils down his entire professional take on the case to just 3 words. What is going on is absurd.
But here's the thing. This story, as powerful as it is, it's not a one-off, not by a long shot. When you zoom out, you start to see the Serrano family's ordeal might just be part of a much bigger and pretty troubling pattern. You see, these kinds of cases seem to fly in the face of what we were initially told about immigration enforcement, that the focus was supposed to be on deporting dangerous criminals. Instead, we're seeing more and more family members of U.S. service members getting caught up in the system.
I mean, just listen to this story. Take Annie Ramos, another Army sergeant's wife. She was a biochemistry student, a Sunday school teacher, no criminal record at all. She was arrested on her husband's military base. Why? Over a deportation order that was issued back in 2005, when she was literally a baby. She was only let go after the media started covering her story.
And it doesn't stop there. Get this. The case of Jermaine Thomas. He's the son of a deceased U.S. military veteran. He was born on a U.S. Army base in Germany. You'd think that makes him a citizen, right? Well, authorities argued it didn't. They used some prior criminal convictions as justification and deported him to Jamaica last year.
So, beyond all the legal jargon and the policy debates, we have to talk about the human cost here. What this does to the soldiers who are right in the middle of it all. Just listen to what Sergeant Serrano himself said. Since this happened, I'm sleeping only 2 hours a day, 2 hours a night. That kind of sleep deprivation is a massive physical and mental stressor, especially for someone already dealing with the invisible wounds of combat.
And you have to understand, the pressure he's under is coming from all sides. He's staring at the real possibility of his wife being sent to a country where she has 0 connections. And because of his military status, he might not even be allowed to travel there to visit her. All of this stress is just piling on top of the TBI and PTSD he's already working through. So when you take all of this in, the Serrano family, Annie Ramos, Jermaine Thomas, all of these individual stories, they force us to confront one huge and frankly very uncomfortable question. As these cases make painfully clear, the answer is anything but simple. It really leaves you wondering, where does the line get drawn between national policy and our personal duty to the people who sacrifice so much